Stormwolf is a werewolf role that is currently the advanced role of the Nightmare Werewolf. It has the ability to twice per game shuffle all the players' position, delete the chat messages, and also hide votes for that day. In all excitement, well, Stormwolf is pretty much a flawed concept, not by what you think it is. It is actually a flawed concept, and here's why. Stormwolf is a flawed concept, and here's why. Number 1, it can be countered by methods outside of the game. Well, what I mean by this is Stormwolf's main gimmick is shuffling player position, and supposedly shuffling player's position is supposed to confuse everyone if they're unfocused. Well, right? Well, that's the thing. It can be countered by methods outside of the game. Now, Stormwolf, his counters are screenshots, memory notes, and a roll card perk, which are bad counters since they aren't a proper counter because they're methods outside of the game or a pay to win counter or a roll card counter, which is not good at all for a role like this. If you are at any point countered by any methods outside of the game, such as memory or anything, and it doesn't have to do anything with the game, then it's not a good role, and the role is simply flawed. So, Stormwolf's counter is what makes it flawed. Although, of course you won't screenshot in any game unless unless you know it's a Stormwolf or you want to take a picture. Screen shooting is a counter that no roles should have ever, because like Stormwolf is the only role that's counter is a screenshot, and of course you won't screenshot unless you know it's a Stormwolf game, but like of course Stormwolf is underpowered because of the screenshot, which is a method outside of the game. Next is memory and notes. Having a good memory and taking good notes is actually a good strategy to help you keep track of everything, especially everyone's claim. But with Stormwolf, whose main gimmick is shuffling players' position, it's not good because everyone who has good memory will know who's who. And obviously, notes is not supposed to be a counter to role, but a method to help you keep track of who's who. And with Stormwolf's position swapping, well, your notes actually counter that if you've written the username of everyone. But most likely Stormwolf is countered by methods outside of the game because of the notes. You'll know who's who. And now, roll card perk. Bruh, is it supposed to be a counter to a roll? Because, like, for some reason, this roll card perk doesn't get removed when Stormwolf shuffles. And, like, I don't know why. I don't know why does Stormwolf get countered by a roll card perk, which is, for some reason, a pay-to-win method. That's probably the only pay-to-win thing, which is a counter to a role, because, yeah. It's honestly pathetic to see a role get countered by methods outside of the game, especially a pay-to-win feature. So, in that case, Stormwolf's mechanic is flawed because of methods outside of the game. Now, let's go to the second reason. By what I mean is that it's too lobby dependent. I mean that the strength of the Stormwolf is depending on the lobby they're playing it, and it's heavily. Of course, all roles depends on the lobby, but not as much as Stormwolf, because if Village are prepared for Stormwolf and they know exactly how to counter it, then Stormwolf would just be weak. But if you're on a lobby where it's filled with new players or players who haven't seen Storm Wolf or are unprepared for it, you'll become too strong, and especially more dependent on the random werewolf slot. Yes, the random werewolf slot, its power very heavily on the random power slot because you can just shuffle and most of the players will be unprepared because they won't anticipate a storm wolf. Of course, it's not as, of course, werewolf berserk and sorcerer depends on the random werewolf slot, but not as much as a storm wolf because one, for werewolf berserk, it's not even OP because for werewolf berserk, you just don't protect the same players as other protectors are protecting, and for sorcerer well, yeah, you can just counter it, but for stormwolf it just depends on the law. Anyway, this is the end of the video. So this video is about why Stormwolf is flawed, and I don't necessarily say that it's bad, but its mechanic is flawed. Like, it doesn't exactly work like the way it's intended. So in conclusion, it can be countered by methods outside of the game and it's such and such. But thanks for watching the video, and if you enjoy the overall content, why not subscribe? And if you like the video, why not like the video and comment what you think of the Stormwolf, and I'll see you next time.